Hello. Can you tell what it is yet? First off, I didn't buy this at Wilko. I bought this at the local garden centre. It's Coco Coir. Now, the first time I heard the word coir, I thought it was to do with fish. You know, those big goldfish. When you watch YouTube, you find out there's another coir. This is it, Coco Coir. And it makes excellent potting compost, allegedly. And I want some potting compost, so I've decided to have a go with this Coco Coir. Okay. I don't know if you can see these marks. I've already marked this out. This is a 70 litre block of koi, but I'm not wanting to reconstitute it all at once. I only want 10 litres. Okay, this is compressed coconut fibres, dry as a bone, but when it's rehydrated, when it's put into water, it should produce 70 litres of compost. But I've said I only want 10 litres at this point in time. I just want to sow a few seeds. So I'm going to try and cut this compost using a hand saw. This has got to be a first for YouTube. Someone cutting compost with a hand saw. Now, I don't know if this will work. I've never done it before, but I'm going to give it a go. I've measured the block up. I've divided it into 7, so I should be able to get a 10 litre slice from this end. And I've also weighed this block, and I know that I need 1.5 pounds of this coir to equal a 10 litre piece of compost. So when I've sawn this off, I'll collect the dust and the piece that I've sawn off, if it saws, and we'll weigh it, and when we'll add some water and we'll see how that goes. So just let me get on with this. Let's see how this sowing of compost goes. This is a first for me and a first for YouTube, and another first for homegrown veg. I'll just pop this out the way for a minute. Here we go, sowing compost. Another first for homegrown veg. Just a standard wood saw. Let's see how this goes. This is proving to be a harder job than I thought it was. If you want a 10 litre block of koi, buy a 10 litre block of koi. Don't buy a 70 litre and sow it like I am. This is hard work. Wow. Whew. That should weigh, let me get my paper out, 1.5 pound. That weighs 1.5 pound. We've got 10 litres of koi. Let's go and get the scales. Well, that was hard work. Well, here's the block. There's the piece we've just cut off. Okay. We want 1.5 pounds. 1.5 pounds will equate to 10 litres of koi, a 10 litre block. Okay. Let's pop this on here. And come round your side. Come on. 1.5 pounds, spot on. Right. That's phase 1 completed. Let's move on to phase 2. This is my watering can, and it's got 5 litres of water in it. So we're going to rehydrate 10 litres of koi with 5 litres of water. Two nice figures to work with in case there's too much water or not enough water. I've never done this before, and all the other YouTube videos don't seem to give a specific amount of water and a specific amount of koi. So I'm going to try and conduct this experiment. This is phase 2, and we'll see if we can come up with a figure. Okay, now what I'm going to do, because koi is pH neutral, and I don't believe there's anything in koi that promotes plant growth, any nutrients, I've got this general purpose liquid fertilizer, and I'm just going to put a cap full of this into the water, and then I'm hoping that will actually infuse into the koi as the koi expands. So we'll just pop a little drop of this in here. And we'll give it a stir. Give it an agitate. Okay. I'll just move this out the way. This is the dish I'm going to be using. And this is the 10 litres of koi. They're the sweepings. There's the 10 litres of koi. I'll just pop round your side of the camera, make sure you can see that. Yeah, that's looking okay. Right. In fact, we'll pop this underneath just so it tilts slightly to the camera. How's that? Let me have a look at that. Oh, it's looking better already. Okay. I'll just pour this water on. And we'll see this koi magic. Now I suspect there's far too much water here, but we can easily take it out in phase 3. Okay. Push it under with the watering can. Make sure it's getting a good soak in. Okay, that's it. 10 litre block of koi, 5 litres of water. Now then, what I'm going to do now is too cold to be out here really. I'm going indoors. I'm going to make myself a sandwich. I'm going to have a cup of tea. I'm going to give Molly something, and then we'll come out and see how this has gone on. And I'll have a look at the clock when I go in. I'll tell you what time, how long I've been indoors, and we'll see how well this has got on. Okay, but I'm not expecting you to watch this this stuff swell out, so I'll just knock the camera off. Before I go indoors, I've thought of another cunning plan. This is a big white pebble. Okay, if this is under the water, it's more likely to become coy. Okay, you can see the bubbles coming out of it, so it's getting a good soak in now. As I say, I'm going indoors, sandwich and a cup of tea. I'll be back out shortly. Okay, we're back. I put these gloves on just to try and keep a bit cleaner, because if I'm working with a camera, I'm not wanting all this all over the camera. I was indoors about 3/4 of an hour. I had a quick squint at the newspaper while I was in there. There wasn't much in to make a sandwich with, to be honest, so I fell back on one of my old favourites from my time when I worked down the pits, jam and cheese. Oh, living the dream. Cup of tea, jam and cheese sandwiches, superb. I'll have a drink of this and move it out the way, then we'll get cracking. Okay, so we'll just take this out and we'll see if this block has, tell you what, we'll put that down here just so it doesn't fall on anybody. There's every likelihood that could roll off. Let's see what we've got here. Ooh, crikey! It's got a lot bigger. Here we go. Right, so it still hasn't got there, but as you can see, it's starting to get there, isn't it, Mom? It's starting to get there. Okay, so we'll just give it a helping hand, and then we'll go back indoors again. I think there's no point in standing out here watching this, is there? I mean, you're not even watching it. I keep knocking the video off. If you're not watching it, I'm not watching it. But I've got to tell you, when I put my hands in there, that block was that big. Trust me, I couldn't get my fingers down to ease it up. That's nearly as big as the original block, and I've just broke half of it up. So as you can see, it's swelling out nicely. But breaking it up like this should help the process. I'm not in any great hurry, it doesn't matter. You know, I'm not looking to use this today. I might not even use it tomorrow. I'll use it this week sometime, because I am going to sow some seeds. But I'm not putting a clock on it to tell you exactly how long this takes. But this is what it looks like after 3/4 of an hour of soaking. And by the way, this water's cold. Apparently if you use hot water you can speed it up. But as I say, I'm not in a hurry. You know, I'm not bothered how long it takes. All I want to do is make sure I do it properly, and that it reconstitutes, and I'll get all the lumps out of it. And it is, I've got to say, it is breaking down really nicely now that I've got my hands into it. Yep. In fact, why don't we nip back indoors, have another cup of tea and another jam and cheese sandwich, stuff it. Let's live the dream, let's push the boat out. Okay, right. There aren't many lumps left in there now. There's a few, but not many. And I'll tell you what, oh, I've got these gloves on, my hands are like ice. This water's really cold. It is really cold. But as I've said, if you want to speed it up, use hot water, but I'm not in a hurry. We've got all day, Molly, haven't we? Yeah, we've got all day. So, right. Right, We'll leave that for a bit longer, and then we'll come out and we'll have another look at it, and we'll move on to, what phase was I on? 3. We'll move on to phase 2. Whatever phase I'm on, we're going to move on to the next phase. Stay with me. Right, this coir's been soaking for about an hour and a half now, so I think it's about ready for the next phase. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to remove the excess water. Okay, make sure there's no lumps in there. I think we're okay, and I think we've just about got the water right. 5 litres of water for 10 litres of coir. And now we're going to take out the excess water. Okay, and this is how we're going to do it. This is a solid bottom seed tray, and that's one of my 10-inch pots. Okay, this is a 10 litre pot, so what we're expecting is that when we put this coir in, this 10 litres of coir should fill that pot, if in fact we've got 10 litres of coir. We're going to pour it in, and we're going to let it drain off through the holes in the bottom. In fact, what we'll do is, before we put this in, we'll take that water away straight away. Okay. Okay, I've removed the excess water from the coir. I'll just pop it in the bucket now, in the pot rather. Any more excess water should I say, will fall through the bottom, hopefully, go through the holes, and then I think we'll leave this overnight. I'll try and lay it out probably, this coir on something, just so it'll start to dry out a wee bit, and then tomorrow we'll fluff it up. Tomorrow, did I say tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow we'll fluff it up, and we'll see if it fills this 10 litre pot, shall we? Okay, as it's supposed to do. I don't know if you can see this coming up in the pot yet. That's it, isn't it? Okay, so if that 10 litre block was indeed 10 litres, by tomorrow we should be able to fluff this up into 10 litres of coir. Okay, I'll put the camera to bed for today, and we'll dig it out again tomorrow. I'll have another look at this, we'll finish the video. This is the excess water draining out of the coir. Okay. And when that stops, we'll empty the coir onto a prepared surface and just let it dry out a bit more. Then we'll fluff it up, pop it back in the pot, and see if we've got 10 litres. The coir has had a night to dry out and fluff up. This is our 10 litre pot that we're hoping to fill with that coir. If that block indeed was 10 litres, then it should just about fill this pot. This is a riddle I use, put the coir through the riddle just to break it up. Okay, there's very little came out of the coir. It was fine. It's okay. So that's the coir fluffed up. We're now going to put it into this pot, see if we've got 10 litres, and then we've got some seed sowing compost. We can make a start sowing seeds when the weather warms up. So I'll just move this coir out of the way, this Coco Coir, and put the pot in the spotlight. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay, let's see if we can do this without spilling. How's that? How's that looking? Let's just shake it in. Well, I think we've got 10 litres of Coco Coir there, don't you? It feels absolutely great, it really does. Really light, fluffy. There's no lumps in there. Let's see if this stuff lives up to its name. Homegrown Veg, signing off.